few people know how to fall in love with a girl. Because of this, there are some problems in the relationship and too much time is wasted. In fact, to fall in love with a girl and seduce her is quite simple and easy, if you understand how it works. In this issue I will tell you about real and effective tips from psychologists that will allow you to understand how to fall in love with any girl. Plus the bonus of this issue, I'll tell you how to make a girl constantly think about you. The first, closer, further. Unconsciously, this technique was developed by the fair sex at the time, successfully using it in seducing men. Later, when such a thing as a male pickup truck became widespread, the guys also adopted this trick. So, what is it? At first, you show every possible attention to the girl. You are interested in her affairs, invite her to meetings, make compliments, but at one moment it all suddenly disappears. You yourself almost do not write to her, stop calling, dryly reply to messages. It may last a couple of days or more. Then, as if nothing had happened, you simply respond to any reproaches that you were busy with work and begin to show interest in the interlocutor again. Some time passes, and you start moving away again. Such swings will make any girl think about you. And of course, you should not overdo it with this point either. Also, don't forget to look for signs that you are considered attractive. This will simplify the seduction process. Body language is often unconscious and manifests itself when we like someone. There is also a fully conscious action. Look for signs that the girl likes you, and she is interested in you. Briefly about the signs. Her cheeks are blushing, the lips become brighter and plumper, the pupils may dilate. She removes the barrier that was between you, for example, removes the bag standing between you. Suddenly, the heartbeat accelerates and the breathing becomes faster. It copies your gestures. For example, if you shift your weight from one leg to the other, after a few seconds she does the same. She lightly touches your hand, wrist, or knee for a moment. But again, remember that none of these signs guarantees 100% that she likes you. They are favorable, but do not rush to conclusions. If a flushed girl with dilated pupils removed a bag standing between you on the bus, perhaps she just wants to give you more space, purely out of politeness. In general, just take note of these points. Don't be too easily reached. You have a life of your own, don't you? That's why you can't pick up the phone every time she calls, or answer her text messages within 10 seconds. Of course, sometimes you have the opportunity to answer the phone or immediately text her, especially if she has an urgent question, but in general you pause before answering a call, messages, or call back. This can mean an hour or two, or half a day or even a day if you are really very busy. The main thing is not to get into the habit of ignoring calls completely, because this will make the girl irritable, bored, and she may suspect that you have another girlfriend. If a girl knows that you will answer her whenever she calls, then she will most likely assume that you are under her thumb. Be the most important thing she thinks about at night. If you want to make a girl miss you, then you should be the last thing she thinks about before she closes her eyes and falls asleep. Subconsciously, this will make her think about you and miss you even more. So make it a tradition to call or text her, wishing her a good night, before she goes to bed. If she doesn't really like it, then, of course, it's not worth imposing it. Otherwise you will look desperate. However, if your voice is the last thing a girl hears before going to bed, then it is guaranteed that she will miss you even more. Engage in self-development. It has been proven in practice that seeking a girl and running after her, you will not build any successful relationships. And, as you've probably already noticed, this is the main idea that I'm trying to promote in this issue. Remember that the girl will find you herself, but only if you become worthy of her heart. To do this, you need to start getting better, stronger, and more successful. Engage in self-development, and then you yourself will notice changes in your life. Keep your back straight and walk confidently and be proud of yourself. Don't be afraid to look at the girl you like and smile at her, because maybe she likes you even more. In general, once again, in order to fall in love with a girl, it is important to stop running after her. Show that you liked her and just live and enjoy life. If a girl also likes you, then she will start giving you the signals I mentioned earlier that you can build and create relationships and meet. The main thing is not to hide the fact that you like her. You can even admit it clearly. If you hide it, then the girl will not show any desire for her to like you. Also, do not forget that it is worth loving yourself. The main reason why guys fall in love with girls more often than the other way around is that every girl loves and respects herself. I'm not saying that all guys don't like themselves, don't respect themselves. If, for example, you don't really love yourself, then no one can love you. Self-esteem is also important. There is no need to be and become lower than a girl, since you will immediately become uninteresting to her. And if you give up, you will become lower than her, and she will just walk away from you. Remember, only strong guys are interested in girls who are taller than them. Be able to make you laugh. A banal point. Adopt a sense of humor. It's no secret that girls love guys who can make funny jokes, but in fact it's practically a whole science. Try out jokes on your friends, it will help you understand which ones are successful and which are not. To overcome the tension, being alone with a girl, it is best to joke or tell a joke. Remember, if you joke badly, it doesn't mean that you don't have a sense of humor. Just use a sense of humor when surrounded by people. But, let's say, barbs and sarcastic humor are not always the best idea. Try something positive. Even self-irony will do. Be cheerful. One of the most important character traits that both boys and girls pay attention to is the ability to have fun. Don't be a bore, be able to have fun. And most likely the girl will find it very attractive. Radiate energy. Make ordinary things, like studying, more exciting and fun. Let's say turn a math problem into a song, don't be too serious. And, probably most importantly, you know how to laugh at yourself. The fact that you know how to have fun with friends, etc., makes it clear to the girl that you are not an aggressive or nervous person. It will also be interesting for other people to communicate with you. And, of course, learn to wait. About 80% of guys don't know how to wait, which is why many can't create a happy relationship. Guys are in a hurry and therefore find the wrong girl that they could fall in love with themselves. Girls try to get to know each other as long as possible, and then build relationships, as this allows you not to make a mistake with the choice. Therefore, if a girl asks you to wait, she checks you whether you really need her or not. Don't rush things. Wait and you will see for yourself how the girl sincerely loves you. And now a couple of tips on how to make a girl fall in love at a distance or by correspondence. It is not at all as difficult to understand at a distance as it may seem at first glance. Not being able to contact a potential lover often, the girl often thinks up his image, and even in a positive way, which plays into her hands. Of course, it happens the other way around, but it is in your power to make the situation play on you. An important rule in such a situation is to give the girl the impression that you are constantly, one way or another, present in her life, despite the fact that there are kilometers between you. Correspondence questions that may spark interest. Don't be banal. Forget about questions like how are you doing, what are you doing, ow, and so on. After such questions, you will most likely end up on the list of boring guys. This is due to the fact that most likely, after such questions, an interesting dialogue cannot arise. Don't forget about the details she already mentioned. For example, she wrote to you yesterday that she was going to go to yoga. Ask how the lesson went, whether she learned something new for herself. Actively interested in her personality. If you know that she has some hobbies, ask where they came from, what plans she has in this direction for the future. Ask questions that can be called veiled compliments. For example, ask if she went to ballet as a child. Explain the question by the fact that judging by the photo or by the meetings in life, she has a very graceful gait and posture. What can I write in contact? Intrigue. For example, write in the morning, I dreamed about you today. It was a very unusual dream. This will make the girl fantasize. Then disappear from the network for a few hours. Surely during this time she will reflect on what exactly you dreamed. Then, by entering into correspondence again, you will be able to describe any dream. Charm her even when you're not together. When you talk to a girl from a distance, your task is to keep her interested so that she wants to see you again. If you can only talk to her for 20 minutes a day, you should make the most of that time. Therefore, make her laugh, tell funny stories, ask what she did and make the girl think that you consider her special. She should feel that you are the right person to talk to. In general, these conversations should make her even more eager to see you. Again, if you are worried about what to say to her and what to talk about in general, then come up with a couple of topics before starting a conversation. Come up with at least 3 things that you could discuss with her that will be of interest to both you and her. I hope that at least something from this issue was useful for you. If so, then subscribe to the channel, like it and turn on the bell. Now I said everything in different order, but it doesn't matter. And also check out a few of our previous releases.